Chanmi is having a conversation with her twin brother Changdu. The call is abruptly disconnected when Won-suk sees someone entering the room, and Chanmi is left confused. Chanmi participates in a shooting competition but fails to win the gold medal. Distracted by thoughts of her brother, she settles for the bronze. Chanmi receives news that her brother has died, and she rushes to Seoul to learn more about his death. She discovers that it was ruled a suicide, but she believes it was murder. Chanmi visits her brother's resting place and confronts his adoptive parents, who are dealing with the aftermath of his death. She goes to the police station to express her suspicions, but is dismissed by the investigators, who believe it was a suicide. Chanmi transfers to her brother's school, Yongtan High, to investigate his death. She meets Ji Soo-hyun, a part-time worker supporting his mother, who witnessed her brother's death. Soo-hyun has a brain tumor and is struggling with his condition, experiencing severe headaches and mood swings. Chanmi starts wearing Soo-hyun's jacket, which creates a buzz among the students, leading them to speculate about their relationship. She joins the target shooting club at school and is introduced to her class, where she and Soo-hyun are classmates. Chanmi discovers that her brother lived a different life than she knew. She encounters various characters who may be connected to his death, including Suk Jae-beom, who has lost his memories after a coma. Chanmi starts her own investigation into her brother's death, asking questions about Won-suk's life at school. Chanmi meets Seon-ha, a girl who is assaulted by a schoolmate, and witnesses the aftermath of bullying. A mysterious hero appears at Yongtan High, avenging bullied students. Chanmi speculates that this might be connected to her brother's death. Chanmi and Soo-hyun meet in the room where Won-suk's incident took place. Soo-hyun explains that he returned to school because of lunch, the cat he usually feeds. He recounts how he was feeding the cat when he heard a thud and saw Won-suk lying in front of him. Chanmi is intrigued by Soo-hyun's account and starts to piece together the events surrounding her brother's death. During class, Chanmi notices Soo-hyun is in agony and follows him to the bathroom, where they find Min Sunga, who has attempted suicide by slitting her wrist. Fortunately, Sunga survives, and detectives interrogate Soo-hyun and Chanmi about the incident. Soo-hyun learns from the police that Chanmi is Won-suk's sister, but keeps this information from her. Chanmi requests that Soo-hyun set up a meeting with Ah-young, but Ah-young sends a friend disguised as her instead. Chanmi recognizes the imposter and is directed to meet So-mi if she wants to learn more about Won-suk. Chanmi meets So-mi and is shocked to discover that her brother was a bully at school, and many students are relieved by his death. This revelation shakes Chanmi, and she apologizes on behalf of Won-suk. Meanwhile, Soo-hyun is approached by So-yeon to help avenge Seon-ha, who was bullied. Soo-hyun initially refuses, but agrees after learning his mother is ill and needs financial support. He sneaks into the school's darkroom, where Young Kyung is developing compromising photos of Seon-ha. Soo-hyun threatens Young Kyung, demanding he apologize and drop out of school. However, upon seeing Seon-ha's photos, Soo-hyun becomes violent and beats Young Kyung with a hammer. As the episode progresses, Chanmi delves deeper into her brother's life at school, uncovering more about his relationships and actions. She meets various students who were affected by Won-suk's behavior, including those who were bullied and those who were part of his clique. Soo-hyun is escaping after punishing Young Kyung, and Chanmi notices the blood on his shoes. However, she doesn't confront him about it. The next day, they meet at a memorial park where Soo-hyun is paying respects to his brother, who died due to severe bullying. Chanmi reveals that she is Won-suk's twin sister and asks Soo-hyun to keep it a secret. Soo-hyun is visibly shaken by this revelation, but agrees to keep her identity hidden. Chanmi tries to gather more information about her brother's death by meeting with Oh-sung, who is accused of getting Hong Ah-young pregnant. However, Oh-sung doesn't reveal anything about Won-suk. Chanmi follows him to his house and discovers that Kook Ji-hyun lives there, and they are step-siblings. Oh-sung asks Chanmi to keep this a secret, hinting at a complex family dynamic. Meanwhile, Suk Jae-beom continues to struggle with his memory loss, experiencing flashbacks that suggest he might have been involved in Won-suk's death. His interactions with Chanmi become more frequent, and he starts to piece together fragments of his past. As the episode progresses, a scheme is conspired to remove Chanmi from school. Soo-hyun advises her to leave, but she is determined to uncover the truth about her brother's death. Chanmi receives a note to meet in the auditorium, where she is attacked and made to faint. The perpetrator uses her phone to spread an indecent photo of Ji-hyun, leading to a confrontation between Ji-hyun and Chanmi. The school erupts in chaos as students speculate about the photo's origin and Chanmi's involvement. Additionally, Min Sunga is shown to be recovering from her attempted suicide. Her situation highlights the severe bullying and pressure faced by students at Yongtan High. Chanmi visits Sunga in the hospital and learns more about the bullying culture at school. The aftermath of the photo scandal continues, with Ji-hyun accusing Chanmi of spreading the image. Soo-hyun intervenes and takes Chanmi away from the confrontation. Ji-hyun reveals to the school committee that Chanmi is living illegally in a hostel meant for college students, leading to Chanmi being kicked out. Soo-hyun offers Chanmi shelter at his place, and they grow closer as they spend more time together. Meanwhile, JBM confronts Oh-sung about attacking Chanmi and spreading Ji-hyun's photo. Oh-sung confesses but later denies any wrongdoing, showing a pair of identical shoes to confuse JBM. This twist adds to the mystery, as it becomes clear that multiple people could be involved in the attacks. Chanmi starts to investigate further, focusing on the relationships between her brother's friends and acquaintances. She discovers that Won-suk was involved in several conflicts, and that his death might be linked to these disputes. Soo-hyun's actions as a vigilante continue to escalate, drawing attention from both the students and the authorities. Additionally, Shanha's situation is highlighted as she faces continued bullying despite the efforts of the mysterious hero. Soo-hyun is approached by Tae-agin to help Shanha, and he agrees, leading to another confrontation with the bullies. Meanwhile, Chanmi receives another note asking her to meet at the shooting range, where she finds JBM waiting for her. JBM reveals that he has been investigating Won-suk's death and believes it was not a suicide. He offers to collaborate with Chanmi to uncover the truth, setting the stage for a deeper investigation into the mysteries surrounding Yongtan High. Meanwhile, the investigation into the mysterious attacks and deaths at Yongtan High continues. Soo-hyun is increasingly suspected by the detectives, who are piecing together clues that link him to the crimes. However, he maintains his innocence, and Chanmi helps him evade the police by retrieving his bag, which contains evidence of his involvement in the attacks. This act of loyalty deepens their bond, but also raises questions about Chanmi's motives and her willingness to protect Soo-hyun despite his violent actions. Meanwhile, JBM struggles with his memories, and Oh-sung continues to manipulate him, making him doubt his own past and his connection to Won-suk. Oh-sung's influence over JBM grows stronger, causing JBM to question everything he thinks he knows. JBM's interactions with Chanmi become more frequent, and he starts to reveal fragments of his memories, which hint at a deeper involvement in Won-suk's life than initially thought. Sejin reveals to Chanmi that he was the one who released the video in the school auditorium, which led to a confrontation between Chanmi and Ji-hyun. The tension between them escalates, culminating in a violent confrontation where Chanmi ends up hospitalized after hitting Ji-hyun. This incident highlights the intense bullying culture at Yongtan High and the lengths to which students will go to protect themselves or exact revenge. Ajung shares with Chanmi that Oh-sung was manipulating Won-suk into doing things according to his will. This revelation deepens Chanmi's determination to uncover the truth about her brother's death. She begins to investigate Oh-sung's role in Won-suk's life, uncovering a web of manipulation and coercion that suggests Oh-sung might have played a significant part in Won-suk's final days. The aftermath of the confrontation between Chanmi and Ji-hyun continues, with Ji-hyun seeking revenge. Chanmi is kicked out of her hostel, and Soo-hyun offers her shelter at his place. Their relationship becomes closer as they spend more time together, but Chanmi's intentions remain unclear. She seems to be using Soo-hyun for her own purposes, possibly to get closer to the truth about her brother's death. Soo-hyun's actions as a vigilante continue to draw attention. He is approached by So-yeon to help avenge a victim, and he agrees, leading to another confrontation with a bully. However, his methods become more violent, and the police are closing in on him. The detectives are convinced that Soo-hyun is the hero behind the attacks, and they intensify their efforts to capture him. Chanmi saves Soo-hyun from the detectives by retrieving his bag, which contains incriminating evidence. However, she seems to have her own plan of revenge. She lures Soo-hyun to Busan, where she is ready with the target pistol she once gave her brother. The episode ends with shots fired, leaving the audience wondering about the outcome. This dramatic turn of events raises questions about Chanmi's true intentions and whether she is seeking justice or revenge. Meanwhile, JBM's memories start to return, and he begins questioning Oh-sung's influence over him. Oh-sung's grip on JBM starts to slip as JBM becomes more skeptical of his past and his relationship with Won-suk. JBM confronts Oh-sung, demanding answers about his involvement in Won-suk's death. Oh-sung's responses are evasive, but JBM is determined to uncover the truth. The bullet only grazes his arm. Soo-hyun is shocked and insists on his innocence, leading to a dramatic confrontation where he even turns the gun on himself. Just as things seem to reach a boiling point, Chanmi receives a mysterious call from her brother's missing phone, which adds another layer of mystery to the story. The caller claims to have information about Won-suk's death and sets up a meeting. Meanwhile, JBM continues to struggle with his memories, and Oh-sung's manipulation becomes more evident. JBM starts to question his past and his relationship with Won-suk, especially after receiving photos that suggest a deeper connection between them. Oh-sung's influence over JBM remains strong, but JBM begins to see through his lies. He confronts Oh-sung about his involvement in Won-suk's death, but Oh-sung denies any wrongdoing, further confusing JBM. Soo-hyun becomes a prime suspect in the murder investigation due to his similar modus operandi in the attacks on Young Kyung and Hyok Jeon. The detectives, particularly Jin So-young, are closing in on him, but Soo-hyun maintains his innocence. His mother's health worsens, and he is faced with the financial burden of keeping her on life support, which motivates him to continue his vigilante actions to earn money. Soo-hyun's actions become more reckless as he tries to balance his desire for justice with his need to support his mother. The investigation into Oh-sung intensifies, and he is interrogated by Detective Jin. Despite his denials, Oh-sung becomes increasingly suspicious, and his father, the police chief, decides not to interfere with the investigation, allowing it to proceed fairly. Oh-sung, however, believes Soo-hyun might be the one behind the attacks, and informs Young Kyung of his suspicions. Young Kyung, fearing for his life, decides to cooperate with the police to uncover the truth about Soo-hyun's actions. Soo-hyun plans another revenge scheme against Young Kyung, despite the risks, as he needs the money to support his mother. Ajung helps facilitate this by making a deal with Seon-ha's father on Soo-hyun's behalf. The episode ends with Soo-hyun preparing to confront Young Kyung again, setting the stage for a dramatic confrontation. Meanwhile, Chanmi follows up on the mysterious call from her brother's phone, leading her to a shocking revelation about Won-suk's final days. Soo-hyun prepares to confront Young Kyung again. Unbeknownst to Soo-hyun, Oh-sung has set a trap for him by installing CCTV cameras around Young Kyung's RV to capture evidence of Soo-hyun's actions. Meanwhile, Chanmi discovers Polaroid photos in Oh-sung's locker, which show Oh-sung, JBM, Sejin, and her brother together. This revelation deepens her suspicion of Oh-sung's involvement in Won-suk's death. As Soo-hyun reaches Young Kyung's RV, Oh-sung's plan is set in motion. However, just as Soo-hyun is about to attack Young Kyung, his mother passes away. The hospital tries to contact him, but his phone is off. Chanmi finds out about his mother's death and informs So-yeon, who then alerts JBM. They rush to stop Soo-hyun from getting caught by the police, who are closing in on him due to Oh-sung's trap. In a dramatic turn of events, JBM decides to wear the mask and takes Soo-hyun's place, leading to a confrontation with the police. Oh-sung is disappointed to see JBM under the mask, not Soo-hyun. The police take Oh-sung, Sejin, and JBM into custody, but JBM claims he was trying to become the hero of the school by taking the fall for Soo-hyun's actions. Oh-sung's plan to expose Soo-hyun fails, and he is taken into custody. However, during the interrogation, Oh-sung reveals a shocking truth. Won-suk pushed JBM from a building before his memory loss. This revelation shakes Chanmi, making her question her brother's character and her quest for revenge. Chanmi receives a call from her brother's phone, which leads her to question everything she thought she knew about Won-suk's death. She discovers that Oh-sung has been manipulating JBM, using photos to suggest a romantic relationship between JBM and Won-suk. However, Oh-sung's true intentions are revealed, He was using JBM to cover his own tracks and manipulate the situation to his advantage. Soo-hyun wakes up in the hospital after a deep sleep and finds a recording from Chanmi. She apologizes for her brother's actions and decides to leave Seoul, feeling that her brother was not worth avenging. Soo-hyun becomes determined to uncover the truth about Won-suk's death, doubting Oh-sung's involvement after seeing him with red shoelaces on his shoes, a detail that links him to the crime. Soo-hyun confronts Oh-sung, accusing him of being Won-suk's murderer and trying to frame JBM. Oh-sung's calm demeanor and lack of denial suggest that he might indeed be responsible for Won-suk's death. Chanmi returns to Seoul and shares her findings with Soo-hyun and JBM. She reveals Oh-sung's lies and exposes his manipulation of JBM. The group starts to piece together the truth about Won-suk's death, focusing on JBM's involvement. JBM's memories continue to return, and he confronts Oh-sung about his past and the manipulation he endured. Oh-sung's true intentions are revealed. He used JBM's split personality disorder to his advantage, making JBM believe he was responsible for Won-suk's death. As tensions rise, Soo-hyun and Chanmi discover that the person who kicked Won-suk out of the window may have used their left leg, which is more likely for a left-handed person. Their target falls on JBM, who is left-handed. Soo-hyun meets JBM to observe him, and when he tells him that Chanmi has gone to visit the police, JBM sneaks away Soo-hyun's phone. Later, Soo-hyun makes an excuse and meets JBM again at his house, when Chanmi tricks him with a message where she sent a picture of Won-suk's phone. This shocks JBM, who soon leaves his house to go to the horse stables where he opens up the box that he has hidden, which contains Won-suk's phone. He finds it still there, but turns to find Soo-hyun standing behind him. Soo-hyun confronts JBM about the phone and his involvement in Won-suk's death. JBM initially denies any wrongdoing, but becomes increasingly agitated as Soo-hyun presses him for answers. Meanwhile, Chanmi visits the police station to share her findings with Detective Jean. She reveals the evidence she has collected, including the Polaroid photos and the inconsistencies in Oh-sung's alibi. The police begin to suspect Oh-sung's involvement in Won-suk's death and start to investigate him further. JBM confronts Oh-sung about his manipulation. Oh-sung reveals that he used JBM's condition to make him believe he was responsible for Won-suk's death. However, it is revealed that JBM's alternate personality was indeed involved in the murder. Chanmi confronts JBM about his role in Won-suk's death. JBM initially denies it, but eventually confesses, revealing that his alternate personality was responsible for the crime. The episode ends with JBM being arrested for his involvement in Won-suk's death. Soo-hyun and Chanmi finally uncover the truth about Won-suk's death, and justice is served.